So in the last video, we talked about one of the big internet mysteries over the last few years, which was the banning of one Dr. Disrespect from Twitch.tv. Now, the good news is that it's no longer a mystery. We now know what happened. The bad news is that the doc disrespected the age of consent. So at the end of the last video, I came to the conclusion that while I think it looked pretty bad for Dr. Disrespect, especially considering these allegations were coming from multiple parties, the truth was that we didn't have any evidence for any of this. It was all accusations, and while I thought it looked pretty bad for him, I couldn't come out and say that he was definitively guilty of anything. But pretty quickly after I uploaded that video, everything kind of started crumbling down around him. I would say that everything really started crumbling around him when Midnight Society, that is the studio that he co-founded. Apparently they're creating some kind of like FPS game. They put out this tweet saying that they were dropping him. It reads, "On Friday evening, we became aware of an allegation against one of our co-founders, Guy Beam, aka Dr. Disrespect. We assumed his innocence and began speaking with parties involved. And in order to maintain our principles and standards as a studio and individuals, we needed to act. For this reason, we are terminating our relationship with Guy Beam immediately. While these facts are difficult to hear and even more difficult to accept, it is our duty to act with dignity on behalf of all individuals involved, especially the 55 developers and family we have employed along with our community of players." Dr. Disrespect was like the face of this company. Him and his brand and his, very large fan base were obviously going to be like the main audience that they were going to be selling this game to. So for them to just drop him like this, when this came out, it was like, okay, yeah, there has to be something here. And then I'm not sure what came first, whether it was this tweet by Midnight Society or this like ending segment of Dr. Disrespect's stream.
And I'll tell you, I just, I don't know. I'm just feeling burnt out. I did have a sort of a planned vacation coming up. And I think I might just extend that starting now. The industry's changed so much. Just so much different energy out there, negative energy and clashing, and from everything that we've experienced as we've started this whole journey together. You know what I mean, champs?
Aww, poor Dr. Disrespect. Aww, the internet is too negative. His feelings are getting hurt. Aww, you know what? I'm starting to feel bad for this guy, the internet is just so mean to him. And what did he do to deserve it?
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
But yeah, he then came out and admitted to it in a tweet. Let's get into it. The Twitch ban. "Hello, I'd like to make a quick statement. Let's cut the effing bullshit. As you know, there's no filter with me. I've always been upfront and real with you guys on anything that I can be upfront about, and I'm always willing to accept responsibility, which is why I'm here now." So that's actually a very interesting, curious, and fascinating thing he tweeted out there, considering that on June 22nd, he said, "I didn't do anything wrong." This is clearly a man who is always upfront and honest and willing to take responsibility for his actions. I definitely believe him when he says this. Anyways, continuing. "First and foremost, I do want to apologize to everyone in my community as well as those close to me, my team, and everyone at Midnight Society Game Studio." I kind of feel like maybe perhaps you should maybe be apologizing to the minor that you were that you were sending inappropriate messages to. I don't know. Maybe those are the people that you've actually wronged in this situation. Not saying you didn't wrong your work partners. Like, for sure you wronged them as well. That was obviously cringe for you to, I guess, like, not tell them about this if that's what happened, but like, there's actually one victim here. I just feel like I should maybe point that out. A lot of people have been left in the dark about what happened yesterday with Midnight Society and I, and we made the painful decision, collectively, just to be clear, they didn't fire me, we did this together, to have me step down. Our team is full of incredibly talented and good people that have high career ambitions and families, and I'd never want to jeopardize the culture that we have carefully crafted. Everyone has been wanting to know why I was banned from Twitch, but for reasons outside of my control. I was not allowed to say anything for the last several years. Now that 2 former Twitch employees have publicly disclosed the accusations, I can now tell you my side of the story regarding the ban. So here's the thing, and this is actually an interesting thing to bring up. I also don't think that this whole situation makes Twitch look especially good either, because what Twitch has done here is they've covered up Dr. Disrespect's predatory behavior. If it's the case that maybe the minor involved and their family just didn't want any of this disclosed and discussed in public, I can understand that maybe something like that is the reason why. But can you not publicly talk about this without disclosing the identity of that person? So I don't know. I could be wrong about that. I could definitely be convinced that this was the right course of action. But at the end of the day, Twitch did cover up a Dr. Disrespect's predatory actions. And that's a little messy. It's a messy situation. Were there Twitch whisper messages with an individual minor back in 2017? The answer is yes. Were there real intentions behind these messages? The answer is absolutely not. These were casual, mutual conversations that sometimes lean too much in the direction of being inappropriate, but nothing more. Nothing illegal happened. No pictures were shared. No crimes were committed. I never even met the individual. I went through a lengthy arbitration regarding a civil dispute with Twitch, and that case was resolved by a settlement. Let me be clear. It was not a criminal case against me, and no criminal charges have ever been brought against me. So, yeah, he just admitted to it. He was messaging with a minor, and these messages did get inappropriate. The phrase that I feel like is especially damning here is when he says, were there real intentions behind these messages? The answer is absolutely not. That tells me that these messages were definitely sexual. He's saying that they were sexual, but that there weren't real intentions behind the messages. That is just flat out disgusting and unacceptable and unforgivable. And there's just no defending it. I mean, this is incredibly damning. This is just incredibly damning stuff. Now, from a moral standpoint, I'll absolutely take responsibility. I should have never entertained these conversations to begin with. That's on me. That's on me as an adult, a husband and a father. It should have never happened. I get it. I'm not perfect. And I'll effing own my shit. This was stupid. It's not stupid, it was despicable. Can't help but feel like there's a little bit of you trying to minimize your actions there, buddy. You're not just not perfect. You preyed on a minor. You did one of the more despicable things that a human being can possibly do. Now, with all this said, don't get it effing mistaken. I've seen all the remarks and labels being thrown around so loosely. Social media's a destruction zone. I'm no effing predator or PDF file. Are you kidding me? Anyone that truly knows me effing knows where I stand on those things with those types of people. F that. There's a different level of disgust that I effing hate even hearing about. Don't be labeling me as the worst of the worst with your exaggerations. Get the F out of here with that shit. Brother, your intentions don't matter. You did what you did. You preyed on a minor. People are going to judge you based on your actions. Your actions were predatory. The fact that you even did that is going to make people consider and think that you are, into that sort of thing. Your actions lead people to getting a certain impression of you.
But I think I've said what I needed to say regarding the ban itself. That's it. That's why Twitch made the decision in 2020. To my team, community, industry friends that have supported me, I apologize. I wish I could have said all this sooner. You guys have always showed me and my family love and support throughout all these years. We love you guys like you can't imagine. I have the flipping best community and circle. If any of this has made you uncomfortable, I get it. You don't have to support me anymore, but just know you have always been greatly appreciated.
Again, a lot of apologies. None of them towards the victim of the situation. He's apologizing to everybody that he has a vested interest in apologizing to, but not the person that he actually hurt, but that isn't of any value to him. I don't know, just something that I'm noticing here.
But trust me when I say this. To all my haters that live and breathe social media with zero life experience, I don't give an F about you. Finally, if you're uncomfortable with this entire statement and think I'm a piece of shit, that's fine, but I'm not effing going anywhere. I'm not the same guy that made this mistake all those years ago. I'm taking an extended vacation with my family, as mentioned on stream, and I'm coming back with a heavy weight off my shoulders.
That is actually unhinged behavior. In your same tweet where you're admitting to preying on a minor, to try and do a clap back on your haters, that is actually fucking unhinged. The other crazy thing about this situation is that what I read to you now is the initial tweet that he posted. He actually edited it twice. His initial edit, he took out the word minor, and then he edited it back in. So just to be clear, the tweet that is visible right now is him admitting to sending inappropriate messages to a minor. Why he edited it, it is so hard to say, edited it in quick succession. Why he edited it out, I have no idea. But this man is committed to being the most sus individual to have ever lived. So, I mean, that's basically it. Sure, it would be nice to have actual logs to read what was said. Yeah, it would be nice to know what the exact age of the girl was. But I don't think that any new information could really, at the end of the day, change the outcome of this whole situation. Dr. Disrespect admitted to preying on a minor. He admitted to it. It is what it is. The guy's a scumbag. He's trying to play the victim. He's trying to farm sympathy with his audience, trying to act like, oh, all the negativity, oh, why are you hurting me? Oh. Now, listen, I'm not your father. If you're a fan of this guy, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, oh, you need to stop watching him. That's up to you and your conscience. All I can tell you is that as somebody that never really watched him in the past, I am with gusto, actively looking forward to continuing that tradition. Let me know what you think about everything that we talked about here in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.